If you have questions, please feel free. Now, in oil painting, many of you know, the ideal thing for me is to start from darks to light. But in this case, I'm gonna scrub in this sky because everything right now is going to be in front of that.
I have a couple of questions.
Please, yes.
Do you have a preference in the brands of paint you use, and what two greens do you prefer?
I buy Grumbacher paint. It's kind of in the middle of the road. It's not super expensive, but it's better than the cheap paints, I guess. You know, I don't really think about that a whole lot. I probably should give it more thought. Now, something that I do, and why they have this similar look, I like to mix on the canvas as much as I do on the palette. So I just kind of break this in, kind of just fast. And right now I'm just using turpentine.
Do you always tone your canvases before you start?
I never used to. I never used to, but I do now. I like that warm color coming.
And what did we use, like a burnt sienna, yellow?
This is, these were toned with transparent oxide red.
What were the two greens?
Oh, I'm sorry. The two greens are sap green and viridian. One is very cool, which is the viridian, and the sap green is pretty warm. It's kind of a nice summer green. The danger is I stopped using sap green after a while. Now you'll notice that's my sky, and you think, well, I don't see a bit of blue in it. That's because when I have things like this in clouds, I find for myself it's easier block in that lightest tone, then introduce the sky, you know, the blue of the sky. The sky would be warmer at the, you know, or deeper, I should say, as you near the zenith up there. And I'm really going to just bang this out. I'm not going to be too concerned about making detail, because that's what I don't do here. I do a workshop. I'm going to have a workshop coming in the spring on painting trees. One thing you'll find is I scrub in color into my canvas a lot. And the reason for that is I try not to be careful, and my brushes get worn on the edges because oftentimes I'm just scrubbing in color into color all the time. And I'm trying not to be careful. It sounds silly, but there's plenty of time to as the painting progresses, to start tightening down on things. I think what happens is people see leaves and twigs and they get all bound up trying to paint detail. And the key is to paint mass. So the lake is a mass of a color. That's a mass. This is one mass. These lily pads are a mass. The sky was a mass. I painted it the same way. I started it with the white, broke in the blue, and then warmed up the clouds as I went along. I truly was not being careful. This is one of my favorite paintings. It's probably the one that's maybe even least interesting, but the day I did that, had hardly any energy left in the day, but I loved the way, sorry about that.